First, I'm going to bring you to the West. Like I was saying, I think the Kings are just electric come playoff time. They got a great fan base, but I just think come playoff time, the teams that have those core guys that they can typically rely on day in, day out usually come out of the series. I think Timberwolves take them in seven. It's going to be an absolute dogfight. I think this is one of the best series in the first round to watch if it does actually come out happening. Next, I got Nuggets coming out over the Suns 4-1. I just don't think the Suns have what it takes ever. I don't think Durant is that legit. I don't think he's built for a true ring. I know he got his in Golden State, but I don't think he can bring a team to get a ring. Also, the Nuggets just being there last year, I mean, they look like they steamrolled to the playoffs. So I'm taking the Nuggets there. Next, I got the Clippers full sweep over the Pelicans. It comes down too much to health being in question for them. They got Zion, no one else to really rely on around him. And the Clippers just have too many guys. Like I said, those people that you can rely on day in, day out, they usually take the series. Moving on to OKC Mavs, I'm taking the Mavs here. I think the Thunder are great. I think Shea's a wonderful talent up and coming through the league, but he just hasn't been on the stage enough. You got Kyrie and you got Luca, two of the best and most proven playoff performers. I don't think you're stopping them in the first round. I'm taking them in seven. Again, I think this is really a great matchup to watch in the first round. Moving on, Minnesota, Denver. Like I'm saying, I think Denver's just been there. They're comfortable in this atmosphere. Luca's just, I mean, not Luca. Jokic is just absolutely unfazed by everything. I mean, playing basketball is his side hustle, basically. I don't think being on a larger stage is something that's going to rattle him. I'm taking Nuggets in six. Down to Clippers, Mavs. I'm taking the Clippers in seven. This one I felt like genuinely could have gone either way. Again, Luca, Kyrie, if they can step up and somehow hold this star-studded Clippers roster to only winning three games, I'm pretty certain this one's going to seven if it happens. Maybe they slip through. If they slip through, can easily see them going to the finals as well. The Jokic Luca matchup would be pretty fun to watch too in the conference finals, but I just think the Clippers have too much power, and I'm taking Clippers in seven. Nuggets Clippers. Again, this one's another toss up. The West is just an absolute dogfight from start to finish. But I think the Nuggets just being there, they look lights out in the playoffs. They're not rattled by anything. Home court advantage is going to be a big toss up here. I know, especially playing in Denver. Um, that's something that benefits the home team tremendously, as it's just a difficult atmosphere to play in. But again, just they look solid. And after last year, they won it. They're coming back to do it again. I see them win it in seven. Now moving to the East. Once again, I am a Celtics fan here. This is a non-delusional prediction, though I tend to be very cynical of my teams. I'm taking Celtics 4-1 in the first round against the Magic. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. The Magic are good. They're young. They're up and coming. But the Celtics have just been here time and time again, year in, year out. Knicks Sixers. I'm taking the Knicks in six. I think they match up very well. I think the Knicks do a tremendous job at playing up to their competition. They don't let games against a challenging opponent slide through their fingers very easily. That's something that they've really started to develop as a team to be able to do over the years. I also just don't think the Sixers perform well in the playoffs. I mean, you saw the series last year against the Celtics where they just blew this lead that they thought was locked up. I think they're going to let this round slip, and the Sixers could easily beat the Knicks, but I just don't see it happening. For Bucks Pacers, I am relying on the classic Doc Rivers choke job in the first round here. I think it's still going to be a close fight. I think the Bucks have tremendous talent on their team. I think the Pacers have also an incredible team. They are young, yes, but I think Halliburton's going to be one of those guys where when the lights are shining at their brightest, he really shows up. And I think we're all going to be very shocked at what he actually puts up in the playoffs this year. For Cavs Heat, I think the Heat magic delusion, whatever you want to call it, I think that's done. I think they look like a different team coming into this year. They look flat. I don't see them making this magical playoff run once again. I'm taking Cavs in 5. Knicks Celtics is one hell of a matchup. These two teams consistently every season have an incredible fight between them in the regular season. If they match up in the playoffs, it's just going to be fun to watch. I'm taking Celtics in 6 simply because I think if it gets to 7, I might have to give the edge to the Knicks. You'll see throughout my predictions here, I don't let the Celtics get to 7 games in any series simply because that's where it gets scary with them. I think Tatum and Brown and everybody just kind of forget how to perform when the pressure is that high. So if it's in 6, I think the Celtics can do it. I think they match up still very well. The Celtics have played them well throughout the season, though. On to Pacers Cavs. This is where it just comes down to the Pacers being young. As good as I think Halliburton's going to be able to perform in the playoffs, I don't think they're going to get past the Cavs. I think their core is a little bit too strong. I think they've been here enough times where they should have some solid ground and solid footing to be able to walk through a young team like the Pacers. Still think it's going to be close, though. Cavs in 6. On to Celtics Cavs. There's another two teams that match up very well in the regular season. Been very close games between these guys, but I think Tatum and Brown and everyone around it, they've completed the team. They have Porzingis now. They have Derek White performing at unbelievable level as a role player and bringing in Drew Holiday. I think the Celtics finally make it over that hump and get back to the finals. And then I am taking Celtics 4-2 over the Nuggets for 2024 NBA champions.
All right, I got a question for you. So,
yes,
championship game, Celtics Nuggets, right?
Yep.
We got Jokic, Murray, Gordon, Porter Jr., and we'll go. I don't know.
Do you want the Celtics starting 5?
So who guards? So who do you have guarding Jokic in that final? Like who do you think? Porzingis. Okay, so Jokic is still going to
give Horford.
Double.
I know we're missing Big Rob. I wish that we could have gone into this final matchup with Rob there.
So who does Tatum and Drew Holiday guard?
Drew Holiday is probably going to be guarding Murray. And if it's not him, it's Derek White, also another elite defender. I think their guards are locked down.
And then Tatum guards MPJ?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, they can match up.
I think the Celtics
match up really well against them. I think
the biggest strength that the Celtics have is they switch defenders so fluidly. Like, it's not one person needs to be guarding one person. Their guards are pretty interchangeable. Both of them absolute lockdown defenders.
And even if
Brown
and
Tatum.
Even if you let Jokic score 40, it's not the whole team.
Exactly. I don't think that Jokic is going to be able to use his help enough to get past the Celtics. And again, like I said, I don't let any of these series go to 7 games for the Celtics to come out winning. If this goes to 7, I don't think the Celtics are doing it.
I actually think the Celtics are probably worse matched up with the Clippers. If the Clippers could beat Denver,
I agree.
I don't think they match up as well as they would against the Nuggets as they do against Los Angeles.
I agree, and I think it's because the Clippers have a better bench.
Yeah.
I think that's also one of the strong suits for the Celtics. They have a very good bench, somebody that can just pop in the game and pretty much not to disrupt the flow of the offense or defense. And I think the Clippers kind of rely on the same thing.
Yeah, I mean...
That's what I got.
Yeah, I really do... I think that's actually a very solid prediction. Like, I don't really have any massive issues with it. Obviously, mine's slightly different, but I think for the most part, that's a very, very, very solid way to look at it. I really like that Celtics-Nuggets finals, but I disagree with you in the sense of that going to 6. I actually, if I was to take the Celtics to win, I think it would be in 7 games because the Celtics would have home court advantage. The Nuggets have one of the most disgusting home court advantages in the league simply because of the climate and their fans are very, very crazy. So I think if you go to game 6 and the Celtics, let's say, are up 3-2, I think the Nuggets totally have that advantage in game 6, and I think they would go back to Boston, and that would be a very, very, very rowdy crowd. I think the Celtics would take that in 7, but I think for the most part you're on target.